All right. Let us all be reminded that we are in the most holy presence of God. Lord God, Heavenly King, Father and Lord, thank you for this very beautiful day you have given us. We are hoping and praying that as we discuss the items 21 to 40 of the diagnostic test, may you continually bless us, help us understand, and we are hoping and praying that you will bless us not only for today, but for all eternity. All of this we pray in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. And I hope that you are having a great afternoon. So let us now begin our discussion. And again po, just like last night, let us be reminded to mute ourselves, to mute our audio, especially if we are not supposed to speak. Marami pong salamat. And please allow me to stop the video so that I will have better connection. Okay. I believe my screen is visible. And I hope no that in the next 20 items, we can get at least 10. Okay. So our goal is to get at least half. That is, if we get 10 or above, then we are considered, then you will be considered a passer. Okay, 21. But before that, be reminded that the directions for this is that we have to write the letter of the correct answer before the number. If the correct answer is not found among the choices, then write E. But again, for your case, it will actually translate to shading the option of your choice sa inyong test paper. 21. 28 students passed while 20% failed in a departmental exam. How many students were tested? Is it 38, 35, 44, or 32? Please comment your answer po sa ating chat. Okay, let's see. Okay, many of you answered B. Let's see if B is correct. So, if 20% failed, then it means that 100% minus 20% or 80% of those who took the test passed. And let's say we don't know the number of students, so we let X to be the number of students. And according to the problem, 80% of those who took the test passed. So 80% of X is 28. And we know that we can convert 80% to either decimal or fraction. I chose to convert it to fraction. 80% means 80 over 100, or when simplified, is 4/5. So 4/5 of X is equal to 28. And multiplying both sides by 5 gives 4X equals 140. And dividing both sides by 4 gives X equals 35. So to everyone who answered B, or 35 students, great job. Great start. Okay. Thank you. Let's have 22. If you are currently earning 22,000 pesos a month, how much will your new salary in Philippine pesos be if you are to receive a 4% increase next month? Is it A, B, C, or D? Let me see your answers po. I can tell that based on your responses, many of you are convinced that the correct answer is letter A. Tama nga kaya si A. So siguro ito po yung ginawa ng iba sa atin. Kinuha po ninyo yung 4% ng 22,000 and that value is added to 22,000. Okay? But we also have another technique. That is, since you will have a 4% increase, then it follows that your new salary will be 100% plus the extra 4% or 104% of your current salary po. So we know that 104, we will now solve for 104% of 22,000. So, I agree with you, Sir Chat, no? Yung 1.04 po. Because if we convert this to decimal, then you divide this by 100, then you will get 1.04 times the salary of 22,000, and with the aid of your calculators, it's actually 2,880 pesos. So the correct answer is letter A. Recording. Okay, let's go to item number 23. If A plus B equals 3 and AB equals 4, what is the value of A squared plus B squared? Is it A, 1, B, 2, C, 3, or D, 4? I'm curious, ano kayang ginawa ninyo dito? All right. So far, we have 5 or, yeah? We have less than 10 people who answered A. Okay. And Sir Chad recommended that we square the binomial, and I do agree with that as well. Siguro yung ginawa po ng iba sa atin ay kinuha natin siguro yung exact value ni A at saka ni B, and before performing A squared plus B squared. But actually, what is beautiful with algebra is that even without getting the values, without getting the exact values of A and B, we can still find the value of A squared plus B squared. So we are given these two equations. The technique here po is that we will square both sides of this first equation. And remember, whatever operation done on the left side should also be done on the right side. So we chose to square both sides of the equation. And ano nga po yung square ng A plus B? Okay, what's the square of A plus B po? That would be A squared plus what? Plus
2.
Very good. Thank you po, Sir Chad. It's A squared plus 2AB plus B squared, which is equal to the square of 3, which is 9. And according to Sir Chad, we will substitute the value of AB. Di po ba? Ang value ng AB based sa ating problem or question ay 4. So we will do the substitution and we will replace AB with 4. And with such, you will have A squared plus 2 times 4 plus B squared equals 9. So 2 times 4 is 8. So you have A squared plus 8 plus B squared equals 9. Then we will add negative 8 both sides dahil yung goal po natin ay A squared plus B squared lamang. So 9 minus 8 will be 1. So if you answered letter A, to everyone who answered A, congratulations. Tama po. 24. May katanungan po tayo tungkol sa number 23 before we proceed po.
Okay na po, sir.
Okay. So proceed po tayo sa next item. The property of real numbers which describes this. The sum of 5 and 6 added by negative 3 is equal to negative 3 added by the sum of 5 plus 6, of 5 and 6. Is it reflexive, associative, distributive, or commutative? Wow! Marami po yung sumagot ng D. Let's see. Tama nga ba ang D or DO? So when we say reflexive property of equality po, that is any quantity is equal to itself. Say A equals A, 5 equals 5. Kapag sinabi naman po nating associative property, that is A star of the quantity B star C, which is equal to the first two numbers operated by the same operation to the third number. Like it works, no? Especially if you have the usual addition or multiplication po. Kapag sinabi naman po nating distributive property of equality, ito po actually yung kanyang abstract definition. And lastly, when we say commutative, A star B is the same as B star A, where the star there or the asterisk could actually symbolize addition and multiplication. So in this problem, if we let A to be equal to 5 plus 6, and we let B equals -3, and by substitution, ito ay magiging, ito ay papalitan ng A, lahat ng 5 plus 6 ay papalitan ng A, lahat ng -3 ay papalitan po natin ng -3. And you will get A plus B equals B plus A. So anong property po ito? Ang tamang sagot ay letter D. Commutative po. All right. Magaling. 25. Masyado po ba tayong mabilis or okay lang po?
Okay lang po.
Okay. Just tell me po kung masyadong mabilis and I can slow down. 25. Factor AB minus 1 minus B plus A. Did you go for A, B, C, or D? Okay. If you don't mind po, paki-comment po kung ano pong ginawa niyong process. Anong process po yung ginawa ninyo? Paki-comment na lang po sa ating chat. Okay. According to Sir Chad, grouping, no? Or factoring by grouping. Okay. Siguro, correct me if I'm wrong, yung iba po sa atin ay nag-trial and error po. Maybe some of us multiplied the choices at saka kung aling choice ang nag-equal sa given, yun yung sagot natin. There's nothing wrong with that. And this time, I'm going to show you the process, no, na sinasabi ni Sir Chad sa ating chat. If you have this, we will do what we call factoring by grouping. And for this one, I rearrange the terms first, no? So, yung AB minus B plus A minus 1. I just rearrange the terms po. And then, I made this one as I group them. Yung AB minus B, I group them. And yung GCF ng AB at saka ni negative B ay B, di po ba? And so, inside the parentheses, what is left? We did division. AB divided by B is A. So that's why may A po dito. Negative B divided by B is -1. That's why meron pong -1 dito. Plus, ano po yung GCF ng A minus 1 at saka ng A, anong GCF ng A at saka ng -1? Di po ba 1 lang? Kaya yung ginawa ko po ay nilagay ko na lang siya sa parentheses and I placed here 1 because 1 lang naman po yung kanyang GCF. At kung ating pong mapapansin dito, meron tayong dalawang terms. Yung B times quantity A minus 1 at saka yung 1 times quantity A minus 1. Ano po yung kanilang greatest common factor? Ito po ay, meron bang common factor sa kanila? Very good. That's A minus 1. So we factored out A minus 1. And here, B divided by A minus 1 is B. 1 times A minus 1 divided by A minus 1 is B, is 1. That's why if your answer is letter A po, or A minus 1 times the quantity B plus 1, you got it right. Or, kung nag-trial and error man po kayo, nag-multiply po kayo ng any two numbers, ng any two expressions, correct din po yun. No? As long as you will arrive to the same answer and as our given. Okay, good. Next number. Which of the following has a prime factorization of 2 cubed times 3 squared times 5 times 7? Is it A, 2520, B, 2780, C, 2800, or D, 2850? Wow! Marami po ang sumagot ng letter A. Ano po yung ginawa ninyo? Comment na lang po kung ano yung ginawa ninyo. According to Sir Chad, minultiply po natin. And I do agree with that, no? Because tandaan po natin, multiplying them should give us the number. Thank you, of course, very good. And if you do the multiplication, 2 cubed means 2 times 2 times 2 or 8. 3 squared means 3 times 3 or 9 times 5 times 7. And that is letter A, 2,520. Wow, good job. 27. Which of the following numbers can be expressed as the sum of 3 consecutive integers? Is it 173, 183, 203, or 301? Okay. Marami po ang sumagot ng B. Now, siguro, yung ginawa po ninyo ay ganito. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yung ginawa ng iba siguro ay nag-trial and error. Pero don't worry, this problem could actually be approached even without using trial and error. And I do agree again with Sir Chad. Best in recitation si Sir. Sana all. The number should take the form 3x plus 3. And I'll explain why, bakit po ganyan. And the thing is, when we say consecutive integers, no, these integers have a common difference of, say, 1. So if the smallest number is x, the next higher number is x plus 1, and the third number should be x plus 1 or x plus 2. From here po, we could see that if we add them, it will be equal to 3x plus 3, di po ba? Tama. And if you could see, 3x plus 3 could actually be factored as 3 times the quantity x plus 1. So you could see po that 3 is one of its factors. That's why, to make the long story short, if you add any 3 consecutive integers, its sum should be divisible by 3. And among the choices, only 183 is divisible by 3. No? In fact, 183 could be expressed as 60 plus 61 plus 62. So letter B nga po yung tamang sagot. That's why dito, kapag nakita mo no, na ganito pala yung, ito yung form niya. So kung ano yung divisible by 3 sa kanila, yun na yung sagot. The fact that the other choices are not divisible by 3, it also implies that those numbers cannot be the sum of 3 consecutive integers. Okay. Salamat po. 28. The number of hours spent for review in algebra, chemistry, and English is in the rate 4:3:1. How many hours does each student spend for chemistry in a 24 hours review package? Is it 12, 9, 6, or 3? Paki-comment po ng ating sagot. Alright? Wow! Marami po ang sumagot ng letrang B. B for baby. Wow! Sana all bini-baby, no? Okay. This time, I will allow someone to open his or her mic to explain to us kung ano po yung ginawa niya. Sir Chad, okay lang po? Sir Chad, is it okay if you could open your microphone and tell us what you did po?
Yes, sir.
Go on po.
We first note that the partitive numbers 4, 3, and 1 should be added because they correspond to the number of hours algebra, chemistry, and English hours in a day. So when we add them, we will get 4 plus 3 plus 1 equals 8, and dividing 24 by 8, we will get k is equal to 3, and then This 3 will be multiplied to the number 3 since it corresponds to that subject, sir.
Very good. And I think Sir Chad explained it properly. So, hula ko, no? Si Sir Chad, magiging magaling na guro din ito kagaya ng iba sa atin. Kagaya natin. Okay. Thank you po, Sir Chad. That's well noted. And I believe, no? It's well explained as well. Do we have any questions po or clarification sa solution ni Sir Chad? Gusto niyo pong may clarification ba kayo or can we proceed to the next problem po? Okay, so sabi ni okay, same process din daw. Wow, very good po. Yes, I agree with you, Ma'am Lorino. It's well explained. Thank you po. 29. If m is less than 0 and n is greater than 0, which of the following is true? Is it A, m over n equals 0? B, 1 over m divided by 1 over n? I mean 1 over m is less than 1 over n. C, mn is greater than 0. Or D, 1 over m is greater than 1 over n. Wow. There are many ways of solving this problem. And this actually implies that m is less than 0 implies that m is negative. And n greater than 0 implies that n is in fact positive. So to make this thing simple, we can also pick certain values that where m is negative and n is positive. In my case, I picked m equals -1 and n equals 1. And if we do the substitution, you see na ito ay magiging -1 over 1 equals 0. That's a false statement because the left side is -1, the right side is 0. So mali po yan. For the second case, 1 over m is less than 1 over n. It became 1 over -1 is less than 1 over 1, which is true. Bakit? Kasi yung left side natin ay negative, yung right side natin ay positive, and positive numbers are always greater than negative numbers. So true po yung letter B. Yung letter C mali po kasi kung makikita po ninyo, yung product nilang dalawa ay in fact less than 0. -1 is less than 0. So false po ito. And letter D, negative numbers are never greater than positive numbers. So false po yung letter D, so B yung tamang sagot. 1 over m is less than 1 over n is true. 30. If 2x plus 4y minus 5z equals 19 and z equals 3, what is the value of x plus 2y plus z? Did you go for 5, 10, 15, or 20? Wow, grabe. So far, sa lahat ng sumasagot, parang unanimous yata tayong lahat, almost. Pero so far, okay, tingnan natin kung D ay tama. So knowing that z is 3, we will substitute it to the first equation. Replacing z with 3 gives us 2x plus 4y minus 5 times 3 equals 19. 5 times 3 is 15. So magiging -15 siya dito. Adding 15 both sides and copying the rest will give us 2x plus 4y equals 34. Kung inyo pong mapapansin sa lahat ng coefficients, 2x, 4y, 34, all of them are divisible by 2. Kaya po, I divided each term by 2 to make it simpler, and that gives us 2x divided by 2 is x, 4y divided by 2 is 2y, 34 divided by 2 is 17. That's why you have x plus 2y equals 17. So, however, what is being asked in the problem is x plus 2y plus z, no? So, we will add z both sides here to maintain equality. That's why plus z on the left, plus z also on the right. And knowing that z is 3, gives us, I replace the z here by 3. So that's why the left side is x plus 2y plus z with the right side equals 20. The correct answer is letter D. If you got D, di wow, congratulations. Okay, 31. The product of two two-digit numbers is 351. What is their sum? 30, 35, 40, or 45? Okay, we see a lot of C's. If you don't mind po, who among did you do trial and error? I guess. Siguro yung iba po sa atin ay gumawa ng nag-trial and error siguro, no? But actually, I do agree again with Sir Chad Tumpak. Prime factorization can be used for this. And okay, nag-trial and error si Ma'am Noreen, si Sir Chad nag-prime factorization. Yung ginamit ko pong method ay prime factorization din po. And of course, to do prime factorization, factoring is involved. So kung inyo pong matry, no? Kung inyo pong gagawin applying the divisibility rules and continuous division of factoring, for example, or your Caltech, no? So you will find out that 351 could be expressed as 3 times 3 times 3 times 13. We know po na sabi sa problem, meron tayong dalawang problems. I mean, dalawang numbers, dalawang two-digit numbers whose product is 351. Pero meron tayong apat na numbers ata dito. So, paano to? Yung ginawa ko ay simple lang. 'Di ba? 3 times 3 magiging 9. Ay, 9, one digit pa rin. So why not multiply them 3? 3 times 3 times 3 will give you 27. Di po ba? That's why I grouped them together and multiplied them, and that gave me 27. So in fact, 351 could be expressed as the product of two-digit numbers, 27 and 13. So the numbers are 27 and 13 indeed. That's why their sum is 27 plus 13 or 40. Letter C. Galing. Wow. All right. 32 po tayo. But before that, may katanungan po ba tayo tungkol sa solution ng number 31? Or okay na po? I guess wala pong tanong. So sige po, proceed po tayo sa number 32. There are 9 people in a party and each one will shake hands with each other exactly once. How many handshakes are there in all? Is it 27, 36, 45, or 54? And correct me if I'm wrong, no? I think we also had a similar problem last time. And I also mentioned yesterday that the formula to determine the number of handshakes represented by HS is in fact n times n minus 1 all over 2, where n is the number of people. Or you could also do combination. So since we have 9 people, so our 9 is n. So by substitution, that's 9 times 8 divided by 2, and that gives you 9 times the 8 divided by 2 is 4. So 9 times 4 is 36. Letter B nga po. Also, as what Ma'am Ronaldin mentioned, we could also do combination and search that as well, no? 9 combination 2 with our calculators. 9C2. Kasi merong 9 people and for every handshake, there are 2 people involved. Salamat po. 33. If 25% of a number is 50, what is 75% of the number? Is it 75, 100, 125, or 150? Okay, wow. Marami po ang sumagot ng D. If you don't mind po, no, ano po yung ginawa ninyo? Anyone po? May I ask you po, Ma'am Nurse Usman? Okay, okay lang po? Would you mind telling us po kung ano po yung ginawa ninyo? Ma'am Usman? O baka siguro nahihiya si ma'am. Okay, proportion daw, sabi ni ma'am. And marami pong paraan. And I agree with that as well po. No? So kung ating pong makikita, yung 75% ay 3 times ng 25%. Kaya yung ginawa ko po ay, di ba ito po yung given? I just multiplied both sides by 3. And, di ba, to maintain equality, whatever is multiplied on the left side should also be multiplied on the right side. And with that, 25% times 3 is 75%, and 50 times 3 is 150. So 75% of a number is 150. Letter D. All right. 34. A certain amount of money was invested at 4% simple interest, and it gained 500 pesos in a span of 2 years. How much in Philippine pesos was invested in? Is it A, 6,250, B, 6,500, C, 6,750, or D, 7,850? Wow! So marami po ang sumagot ng A. Okay, let's see kung tama. So from here, we know that the formula for interest is I equals PRT, where P is the principal amount o yung amount na ininvest mo. R is the rate, usually in a percent, no? And the T is the time, which is usually expressed in terms of years. Sabi sa problem na yung amount na ininvest mo ay kumita ng 500 pesos. Which means, yung 500 pesos na yan ay yung interest mo. Yung interest rate mo ay 4%. You are free to convert it to decimal or percent. No? So in my case, I converted 4% to decimal by dividing it by 100%. And that gives me 0.04. And the time was 2 years. And what happened next was, I multiplied everything on the right-hand side, and it gave me 0.08p. And dividing both sides by 0.08 to get the value of p, then 500 divided by 0.08 is 6,250 pesos, letter A. Or, apart from this, no, as what Ma'am Nurse Usman mentioned in our chat, you could also derive the formula first for P. You can divide both sides by RT, and that interest over rate times time is equal to your principal amount. So tama din po yan. So thank you po, Ma'am Nurse Usman, for telling that to us. 35. After investing 20,000 pesos at 3% simple interest for X years, it became 24,200 pesos. What is X? So how many years? Is it 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, or 8 years? So take note po kung inyo pong makikita, kung inyo pong mapapansin, ilan po, magkano po magkano po yung interest based sa problem na to? Ilan po yung ating interest? Okay. Ang tanong ko, paano po ninyo nakuha yung 4,200 na interest? Okay, so very good. We will subtract. Ito yung ininvest mo na 20,000, yung future value niya ay naging 24,200, which means to get the simple interest, all you have to do is subtract the future value with the principal amount, no? So 24,200 divided by 20,000 is 4,200. Yun po yung ating interest. And knowing that, again, I equals PRT, we are going to solve for the time in years. So 4,200 is our I, or interest, equals the principal amount, which is 20,000. The rate was 3%, or 0.03 as a decimal, times our time is X years, so X. And dividing both sides na lang, no? Kasi yung 20,000 times 0.03, yung product nito ay i-divide din naman natin sa interest. That's why, if you do such, it will actually give you a value of 7. Hence, you invested the said amount for 7 years at 3% interest. Letter C. Okay. I hope po na clear sa atin. Okay, thank you for that as well, Sir Chad, no? Because you also have presented us valuable insights, and salamat. So yung kay Sir Chad ay A is equal to P times 1 plus 0.03x. Okay. All right. 36. Mrs. Parisan would like to buy a divider at 50,000 pesos. She is required of a down payment of 15,000 pesos, and she will pay the rest at 5% interest for 18 months. How much will her monthly payment in Philippine pesos be? Which of A, B, C, or D did you answer? Okay. May nakita akong letter C. May nakita din akong letter A. So far, parang 4 pa lang ata yung nag-comment. Paano kaya ito? Okay, 5 na. So far, merong 4 na A at saka isang C. Okay, may dumagdag na A. Now, ito po. Take note na according sa problem, nag-down payment na siya ng 15,000 pesos. So, it means to say na may balance pa siya na 35,000 pesos. Di po ba? And take note, kung magkano lang po yung balance niya, yan lang po ang bibigyan ng interest. Which means that the final amount na babayaran mo ay yung amount na to na 35,000 plus ito po, no, yung PRT, principal times rate na 5% at saka yung time na 1.5 years. Okay? So with such, ay okay, noted po Ma'am Nurse Usman. And if you simplify this expression, it means na lahat-lahat ay may babayaran ka pang 37,625 pesos. Pero, take note po ha, di ba sabi 1.5 years, no? So therefore, 1.5 years is 18 months. Kasi yung isang taon, 12 months. Yung half ng taon, 6 months. So 18 months po siya nating babayaran. And dividing this said amount by 18, this means to say that you will approximately pay 2,090 pesos and 28 centavos, letter A po. Wow. Mukhang marami yatang perfect mamaya. Okay. So far, so good. May katanungan po tayo tungkol sa item na to? Wala? Okay. So sige.
No, sir.
Okay, sige po. Thank you. 37. After investing a certain amount of money at 8% simple interest rate, for 5 years, my money became 35,000 pesos in all. How much money or how much was invested? Is it A, B, C, or D? Marami yung nagsasabi na letter C, 25,000 pesos. Yung iba siguro nag-trial and error lang. Hindi po ako sure ha. Siguro yung iba ginawa nila ay nag-trial and error. Tapos chinek nila kung saan sa kanila ang magbibigay ng 35,000 when invested at 8% simple interest rate for 5 years. Pero meron po tayong paraan no, na we can do this algebraically. In fact, the final amount sa ibang libro, they call it future value, is equal to the principal amount plus PRT. Ito po yung interest na part, yung PRT. Yung principal plus yung interest. Kung inyo pong makikita sa right-hand side po natin, you could see that P is a common factor. So factoring out the GCF sa right side, so we could factor out P, and P divided by P will be 1 here. PRT divided by P will be RT. That's why the right-hand side is equal to the product of P and the quantity 1 plus RT. Since P lang naman po yung habol natin, we will divide both sides by 1 plus RT. And I agree with the formula no, that was provided by Ma'am Nurse Usman and Sir Chad Cerezo. That is, to get the principal amount, we will divide the future amount or the future value with 1 plus RT. By substitution po, ito ay magiging 35,000 all over 1 plus the product of 0.08 times 5. Substitution lang po. And by using our calculators, we could see na 25,000 pesos po yung ininvest. Letter C. Wow! Congratulations. Good job po. Dumako po tayo sa number 38. But again po, kung meron po kayong tanong, huwag po kayong mahiyang mag-chat. 38. How much will an amount in Philippine pesos be after 5 years when 100,000 pesos is invested at 3% interest compounded annually? So saan kaya sa kanilang tatlo or sa kanilang apat yung tamang sagot? Grabe kayo. Kapag sumagot yung isa, parang unanimous na lahat. So kung tama ito, so tama kayo. Let's see. I hope that you could still recall the formula for compound interest. That is, ito po sa ibang aklat, no? F equals P sub O multiplied by the quantity 1 plus R over S, and 1 plus R over S is raised to ST, where F is the future value of the investment that was compounded. P sub O is the principal amount or the amount you invested at first. R is the interest rate. The S is like the season, parang ganun, no? If it is annual, S is 1. If it is semi-annual, S is 2. If it is quarterly, ilan po yung S natin? Kung quarterly, ilan po si S?
4, sir.
4. Be careful po. Meron po tayong 4 quarters. Kung quarterly, S is 4. Eh kung monthly po, ilan po yung S natin?
12, sir. 12.
Very good. So kung monthly, S is 12.
sir.
Okay, thank you po. And kung ano po yung S na nandito sa ating denominator, the same S din po yan sa exponent na part na to. Parehas lang po sila. And the T is the time that is usually expressed in terms of years. So by substitution, ito ay magiging F equals 100,000 times the quantity 1 plus 0.03, ito yung rate natin, over, kasi sabi niya, annual. So kung annual lang, it follows that S is 1. Okay, so tama, no? Compounding periods po yung S natin. So yung S is 1, so that's why yung numerator natin 1, yung time natin is 5 years, That's why 1 times 5 po yung exponent ng base na to. And using your calculators, what's inside the parentheses simplifies to 1.03, and using your calculators gives us a value of approximately 115,000 pesos, 115,927 pesos and 41 centavos. Letter C. Okay. I hope na nakuha po natin. I think marami pong nakakuha. So good job po. Next. How much will an amount in Philippine pesos be after 15 years when 18,000 pesos is invested at 2% compounded quarterly? Did you go for A, B, C, or D? Okay, so far we have many people who answered A. Yung tanong ko po, balikan po natin yung formula na to. Ano po yung P sub O natin? Yan yung 18,000, di po ba? Ano yung R natin? Ano yung interest rate natin?
2%,
That's
sir.
2%. Or kung when converted to decimal, tama po yung 0.02. Ano po yung S natin? Kasi sabi niya compounded quarterly. Very
4, sir,
good.
4.
Our S is 4. And lastly po, ano po yung value ng T natin o yung time natin? Ito po ay 15.
15.
Kasi 15 years po. Salamat po. And with such, by substitution to this formula, ito po yung kalalabasan niya. 18,000 times the quantity 1 plus 0.02 all over 4 raised to 4 times 15, which simplifies to 18,000 times 1.005 raised to 60, and that gives us approximately 24,279 pesos and 30 centavos. Letter 8. Wow. Very good. Marami pong nakakuha ng tamang sagot. I hope. And number 40. A certain product was given successive discounts of 30% and 40%. In this order, overall, the original price of the product was decreased by how many percent? Is it 30%, 55%, 58%, or 70%? All right. Okay. C. 58 daw. Tingnan po natin. So ito po yung siguro yung ginawa ng iba. Ganito po yung ginawa ng iba. Yung halimbawa, kapag yung price ng product ay 100 pesos, bawasan mo ng 30%, magiging 70 pesos na lang, di po ba? Tapos yung 70 pesos na yon ay babawasan mo pa ng 40%. So what is 40% of 70? That's 28, di po ba? That's 28 pesos. So yung 70, babawasan mo pa ng 28 pesos. So siya ay magiging 42 pesos na lang. So from 100 pesos, yung final price niya ay magiging 42 pesos. Which means it has a 58% discount. Letter C. Pero meron din po tayong isa pang paraan. And that way, 1 represents 100%. Yung complement niya naman. Kapag, saglit po So if you could see from here po, no, kapag may discount siyang 30%, ibig sabihin nun, 70% na lang po yung babayaran mo sa kanya. Kapag may discount kang 40%, 60% lang yung babayaran mo sa kanya o 0.60. Kaya if you will multiply 0.70 and 0.60, it will give you 0.42. And subtracting that from 1 or 100% gives us 0.58, which means the original price of the product was decreased by 58%. By 58%. Letter C ang tamang sagot dito. That's why Yung sa math po kasi, iba-iba man po yung solusyon natin. Yung mahalaga lang naman po, yung mahalaga po ay dumating po tayo sa tamang sagot. So siguro iba po yung sagot ko sa inyo, iba po yung paraan nyo sa akin. Pero yung mahalaga po ay nakukuha po natin ng tamang sagot. At yung atin pong ginagawa ay logical. Okay. So I hope you learned something for today. Thank you very much and a great day to one and all.
Thank you,